Hey guys, welcome to a new three count with Gino. This one's gonna be breaking down an NXT takeover from Las Vegas. As you can see, different location. I'm having Friday Good Friday dinner with my mom here today. So there's mom in the background. And Toddy's with mom. Let's kick this off. We're gonna kick this off with our Fatal 4 Way for the women's number one contendership for the tag team titles. We have the Meta Girls, which is JC Jane, or sorry, not JC Jane, Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson. And we have the team of Tatum Paxley and Gigi Dolan. And we have Roxanne Perez and um, Cora Jade. And I can't remember the one team. Give me a sec right here. Fatal Influence, Fallon Henley, and Jasmine Nix. I don't know if you guys have been watching Impact lately, but there's gonna be a fatal four way at their pay-per-view with two of the teams I just mentioned in that match going for the NXT or the Impact Wrestling titles. Therefore, the fact that they're involved that deeply into a storyline like that, I may disqualify them immediately. And the fact that our tag team is a heel tag team that are champions on the main roster. I mean, there's one face team in this entire tournament. Well, two if you consider the Metagirls, because the Metagirls are over as hell. Um, all eight of these women are incredibly talented in their own ways. Cora Jade and Roxanne are probably the most talented of the teams, and then I probably see Gigi Dolan's team, then Lash Legend's team, and then Tatum Paxley and Jasmine Nix, just because Jasmine Nix is the most green out of all of them. Um, I truly believe this is the way that Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade get called up to the main roster, because there's rumors going around that Roxanne's debuting right after Mania, and I think Cora's beyond done in NXT. Never won any individual titles, but some people don't really have to. A lot of the people that are on the main roster for WWE never won main roster, never made any main titles in NXT. Take likes of Chelsea Green, Mi Chin, Nia Jax, Dakota Kai. Yeah, she was tag team champion, but not a singles title. I mean, when she was there, Tegan Knox, Blair Davenport, when they were there, and Alba Fire's tag team partner, never won anything. They won tag team titles, never won anything main. I mean, Carmella, I let's go on and on and on. Alexa Bliss never won anything, and look what she's done on the main roster. But yes, I think this one's probably going to be an easy prediction for me, and it's the kickoff part of the prediction, so it's around 9 o'clock. This match will be happening. So I think, as you can see, I'm a little bit under the weather. Um, my heart, sorry, my gut is saying that this match is going to be won by Cora and Roxanne. Neither one of them are turning each other like they have, and they have held tag team gold together before in the past when Cora turned. Um, my gut is saying well, the Mighty Girls have had their chance. Tatum and Gigi are over. Nobody really cares about Jasmine and Felon, or sorry, not Felon, JC. So there's that. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with my gut. I'm gonna go with Cora and Roxanne. Sorry guys, I'm just having difficulty thinking at the moment. Following that, we actually have the women's six-way ladder match to determine the new North American Women's Champion. As we know, Stephanie Van has relinquished that belt a few weeks ago, and they had a tournament. The people qualifying is Zardia, Sol Ruka, Lola Vice, Kalani Jordan. What am I missing? Izzy Dame and Thea Hale. Thea Hale just returned last week. Um, well, I mean, Sol Ruka just won the speed title, but everyone knows nobody really pays attention to speed, right? You have to have X, and you have to pay attention at a certain time and a certain day. So it's cool they finally put a belt on her, acknowledge the fact that she's that good. Does Zarya and her break up if one of them wins the title or they go after each other? Is Thea Hale going to get a title since she almost won this thing a few times and almost won the NXT Women's Championship from Tiffy time and had incredible showings of both Tiffy and Roxanne when they were champions? This is only Thea Hale's second match back in about 6-ish months. Um, Izzy Dangerous and let it be somebody take bumps. I think she's still too green to be going after any titles. I don't want to see another Kalani Jordan title run for a while. Don't get me wrong, the girl's incredibly talented, but I don't think we need to see another Kalani Jordan title run. Lola Vice could be interesting, but you could still see factors of her where she's very green and still learning on the job, but she's very over with the fans. Um, this one's tougher than I think. Um, hmm, who do you go with on this one? You call a friend? This isn't freaking Who Wants to Be a Millionaire now, is it? Ah, I think there's three people in this match that are ready to be champion. I think they brought in Zarya for a reason. If Zarya's the one that's going to crush Shellruka's chances and she'll be the girl that's on top of the ladder with Sol and she's going to pretend like she's going to let Sol get that belt and push her off and turn heel. Sol can't be heel, she's too likable. Zarya could be heel because she could be that evil monster they want, who is hard to defeat a champion. Kalani Jordan could be turning into Roxanne Perez, where they make her the heel NXT champion, and that's all she ever wanted was her belt back. But she feels wrong by losing it because she lost it in a weird way. Um, Lola Vice could be that fighting champion. She has that fighter's background. Like I said, Izzy Dane's not winning that belt because Izzy Dane's not ready for anything, in my personal opinion. Um, Thea Hale could be that plucky underdog champion who wins the belt and gets to take it from her 3 weeks later and then fights to get it back. Kind of like the Roxanne Perez story they did. Um, I thought this would be a lot easier to say than I think about it here now as I'm talking to you guys. Uh, ah. I have two options in my head here that I'm thinking about. Zarya turns heel with her and Ruka being the last two people on the ladder, or Thea Hale wins in her second match back after 6 months. Um, so did they shock like they did the first time that belt was first introduced and Kalani Jordan wins it, but this time below the ice because she's worked her ass off to get where she is, but she also kind of appears and then disappears from TV for a while, so there's that. I think WWE may want that title to be. Hmm, that's the workhorse title, I guess you could say in a way. I think I'd be interested in seeing the Zarya title run. That's what I'm thinking. But if I'm going with my actual logic in my brain here, I think Sol Ruka is just so over. And like I said, she won the speed title, but that doesn't really mean anything. Um, not with my logic and my thinking on this one. I think Sol Ruka is going to be the person that wins this belt. As you can see, my niece upstairs, Bands, the other doggy, is agreeing with me on Haruka as this talk, as you guys can hear. Um, After that, I believe it's going to be Ethan Page versus Ricky Saints, aka Ricky Starks, whatever you want to call him, for the men's North American title, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, wait. Yeah, I think it's going to be Ricky Saints versus Ethan Page for the men's North American championship. They have it rather weirdly lined up here as they were going to have the women's title match as the third match. But I think it's going to be Ethan Page and Ricky Saints, personally. Um, I think this match might be a little too easy to predict. I don't think Ethan Page. I think Ethan Page is headed for the main roster. He's ready for the main roster. I think this is his goodbye, and Ricky Saints is going to have a nice little run with that North American title. I don't see Ricky Saints losing the belt right away if they built this much up into him, and Ethan Page has made periodic appearances back on Impact. Um, and also, side note, congratulations to Josh Alexander. Good luck. You're signed to AEW. We're not gonna talk AEW anymore. Like I said, I can't do it anymore. But this is gonna be an interesting match. There's a huge backstory between these two guys. If you guys have seen follow their careers, they were Cody guys from AEW, and then after Cody went away, they kind of weren't used or used periodically, and then both randomly just disappeared from TV, and then Ethan Page kind of returned and then disappeared again. If that makes sense. And then they were both just on WWE. I think it's gonna be an absolutely great match. Both these guys are so incredibly talented. I was just looking at this card again. I think this card's gonna steal the entire weekend, to be honest with you guys. Um, but that being said, like I said, I don't think that they're gonna take the title off of Ricky Saints, aka Ricky Starks, whatever you want to call him, this quickly like they did with Sean Spears. I think they just took off Sean Spears to take it off of Sean Spears because they weren't gonna let face lose to a face for the North American title, and Sean Spears beat the Don, who in return was beat by Ricky Saints. Good transition, because speaking about the Don, I think this is going to be the most disappointing thing of the night for most people. We have the members of the Don, aka the family, Luca Crescentino, the Don, Tony D'Angelo, and the Underbox Channing Lorenzo versus three members of Dark State in a street fight at Las Vegas. Um, I think we're gonna finally figure out the thing that's been shown the whole time. If you can see the subtle little teases and hints and cracks within Stacks. Stacks is turning Hale on the family. Stacks is the guy that's unleashed Dark State onto NXT. And when the Don thinks he's about to beat Dark State, Stacks is gonna turn, hit him, and pin to give a victory to Dark State. My personal opinion, I didn't think it'd be that easy to call that match, but it is. So there's that. Mm. I think that's gonna be devastating for a lot of people who've been following NXT for a long time and really like the family and seeing their growth as characters in this group. But I think Stacks and Dawn Hill, Dawn seems to be interesting with Dark State. Stacks leading Dark State and Dawn finding a new member to be his underboss. I think Dark State just needs to have included female now to get involved with Ariana Grace. Or sorry, whatever her name, I can't remember her name of the girl that's part of that group. But yeah, there's that. And then we have the tag team champions, the plucky underdogs, Tank and Hank, versus probably the best tag team in the world right now, in my opinion, for Axiom, Nathan Fraser and Axiom. These two guys were absolutely incredible, and I think this is the swan song for a few people in NXT. I can't wait for these guys to go on the main roster. I mean, like, I don't know if you've seen their matches versus Gunther, both of them individually. Axiom in Spain, and then Nathan Fraser in England. Both these guys are absolutely. Sorry, Nathan Fraser fought Penta, sorry, or Phoenix. Both these guys are extremely talented. You can kind of see little teething and cracks that are going to break up at some point. And um, I mean, Tank and Hank have completely grown. I mean, these guys just went through a great derby tournament thing here to win number one contendership, gauntlet, whatever you want to call it. They ran the table kind of like Bailey and Lyra Valkyria. And you guys saw my predictions for them a couple of days ago. Um, yeah, I think this might be getting the crowning of new tag team champions. So there's going to be two new champions at least on this show. Because I think Hank and Tank are going to win those tag belts. I think this is a thank you to Axiom for Nathan Fraser and Axiom because they're going to be headed to the main roster now if they use them as a tag team. Interesting, but I think these guys could shine as individual stars. They've both grown, they've both the ability to speak, they're athletic as fuck. I think Triple H should try and bring back the cruiserweight division and have these guys as main features of it, but that's my personal opinion. There's enough small guys on the roster that can do this now, but I think this is the end that we're going to see a Axiom and NXT. I've been wrong in the past and thought people are going up or not. I think that these group of people I've been saying are ready to go. Following that, we're gonna have our first of two main events. We have Stephanie Van Courier versus Julia, who has recently turned heel just because she said Stand and Deliver, no friends, just titles. Jada Parker and the Juggernaut Jordan Grace. Right away, I'm gonna say Jordan Grace is not winning the NXT title and women's title, at least in my opinion. She'd be the wrong decision. So that narrows it down to three people. Um, Part of me believes both Steph and Julia are ready to go to the main roster, but part of me also doesn't because their English isn't fully there. That being said, there's a lot of girls on the main roster that can't really speak English, and guys. I think it's one of the greatest. Shit today. Excuse me, guys. I just don't see Jordan Grace winning the belt right now solely because she's not been there long enough and she's not a WWE grown product or neither of the other two girls I mentioned, but they've been there quite a bit longer than Jordan has. And I'll be honest with you, I think you're quite more talented than Jordan. I think Jada has a great upside, and she's improved leaps and bounds over the last couple year or two. She's going to be a massive star, you can tell already. Um, do you let Stephanie get her? Do you let Julie get her one back on Stephanie? Do you let Stephanie keep the belt, or is Stephanie going to be like Sasha Banks win belts and then just lose them? Although technically she never lost the North American title. Julia's been in two title matches. She's won one and lost one. Stephanie has not lost a title match she's been in. Uh, Jada Parker's lost a couple title matches she's been in. Jordan Grace has not been in a title match in NXT. Oh, fuck. Would WWE pull a shock and give the belt to Jada Parker? It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Has Stephanie chase it again? Does Jordan Grace turn on them and win the belt? We've never really seen a heel Jordan Grace, have we? Is Julie getting a redemption? Um, is Stephanie Van Kurgan gonna lose the belt on her second or third defense? Um, hmm, so many tough decisions. Is Stephanie better as the chaser than the champion? Do you let Julie win the belt and have Stephanie chase her again? Is I think I swear, guys. I think both Julia and Stephanie are ready for the main roster, but I also think it'd be good to see one of them have a bit of a title. I'm gonna go Stephanie back her defending. Silly because all the main titles can't really change hands on a weekend. And then we have Oba versus Trick versus Javon Evans. He's bouncy. Um, I think this match is gonna be very, very, very good. I'm still not the biggest fan of Trick Williams. I still think he's a little bit clunky in the ring, if that makes sense. Over his health, height, and talent, and sorry, charisma and athletic ability. Just a little bit clunky in the ring, in my personal opinion. Um, that being said, he's had two title reigns. Granted, both been short. Is this his farewell song in NXT? I don't think nowhere thinks so because I think he still needs a little bit of polish. I think this might be it for Oba. Is Javon Evans going to win that belt? Is he ready? I mean, he did just come off a loss last pay per view to Ethan Page, so that means Ethan Page gets first crack if John Evans wins the belt. Wow. Um, uh, um, let me say, instead of the women's title staying put, I think Obafemi is absolutely ready to go to the main roster. He's had a good run. He's both NXT North American and men's champion, heavyweight champion. He had an absolute banger of a match with Moose a few weeks ago. Oh, this is tough. Javon Evans is going to win the win the NXT Men's Heavyweight Championship. That is my prediction. Mark it down. It's not a spoiler. It's not a warning. It is a prediction. It is the truth. As Paul Heyman would like to say, it's a fact. It's not a spoiler. It's not a prediction. It's a fact. I think Javon Evans is going to win the NXT Heavyweight Championship. I don't, like I said, I'm not the biggest Trick Williams fan. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to win it, but I also could see a world in Trick Williams doesn't get his hands on that belt again at all. I think Javon Evans is the dude that's going to win this belt. I think Trick Williams is going to trick me. He's going to try and pin him. Javon Evans is going to see his opportunity, take out Trick with that springboard cutter, and pin Trick. And now, Omega goes up to the main roster without getting pinned clean. All right, guys. Those are my predictions for tomorrow's NXT Takeover Stand and Deliver, Las Vegas. I hope you guys enjoy the show as much as I will. I hope you enjoy this weekend. And I'm telling you right now, don't sleep on this card. It's going to be an absolute banger of a card. And it's going to kick off an amazing weekend of wrestling for us guys. All right. Bye.